Hey YouTube, my name is Jessica, and you will have to bear with me because this is my very first podcast. So it's a little shaky. If I haven't quite got things down, if I say a lot, you will know why. So like I said, my name is Jessica. I am from Arkansas. Well, I'm originally from California, but currently we live in Arkansas. You might hear my co-host in the background. We live on a hobby farm. So we have chickens and ducks and turkeys and rabbits and goats and sheep and bees, and inside there are cats and a couple kittens, and we also have some dogs that are outside. So you might hear the cats. I can hear the ducks right behind me. They're outside quacking up a storm, so I don't know if you guys can hear them or not, but they are also there. So like I said, we live in Arkansas. I wanted to start this podcast because our local yarn shop just closed a couple months ago. I was working there part-time. I was just able to help out when the yarn shop owner needed some time off. And I loved it. I loved working there. Met so many great people. Was surrounded by yarny goodness all day long. And I'm extremely sad it closed. So I thought, what better time to start a podcast than now? So I have a lot of free time on my hands, and I just want to share what I'm working on with you guys. So I guess that starts, we'll go into works in progress. I have a lot on my needles right now, so hang tight and I will show you what I'm working on. My little sister is getting married in Hawaii next week. So I'm trying to get a lot of these projects finished up to take to Hawaii. The first one I'm going to show you, and it kind of came off the needles here, I'm making the Sophia sweater. Now, it is a yarn over lacy sweater. It has, it kind of goes halfway, like right to your tummy, and then it goes into stockinette and garter. But I am a rather large person, and I do not think my stomach needs to be accentuated in any way. So I'm just making it lace the whole way down, and then I'll just do a couple rows of garter at the end. So this is it. It's out of Souk. It's S-O-U-K. I believe it's silk, bamboo, and wool. I've had it in my deep stash for a while now, so I thought I would bust it out. So you guys can kind of see, it's like that. So one side has more of the black. The other side is more purpley. So it's super easy. It's done on size 10.5 needles. I am using my Chigu interchangeable set, which is my absolute favorite. Yeah, I think that's all there is to say about that. This is only 2 balls so far, and I only have a couple more inches. I think it's going to grow a lot when I block it, so I don't want it to turn into like a dress. So I figure I'll do a couple more inches. I'll wash it, I'll block it if it's not long enough, because I want it to come down like almost to my crotch. So if it's not long enough, I can always unpick the bind off and add a couple more inches. But if it's too long, I just hate ripping knitting out. So I'd rather have to add more than to take some out. So that is my Sophia sweater. Oh, I didn't say where you could find me. I'm on Ravelry as Sergeant Griff's Girl. So it's S-G-T-G-R-I-F-F-S Girl. Our last name is Griffith, and when I signed up, my husband was still in the army, and so everybody knew me as Sergeant Griff's Girl. So that's where that came from. I'm also on Instagram as Jessica Ruth Knits, all one word, and I'm on Facebook as Jessica, last name Knits. So that is where you can find me. So everything that I show here is also on my projects page in Ravelry. And a lot of it you'll also see on Instagram. So that's the Sophia sweater. It is housed in my handmade Hawaiian bag for our trip, like that. And I'm not professional at all, so yeah, that's all I'll say about that. The inside is like travel mat fabric. It's got little airplanes on it, like that. And I put a pocket, and it's got a handle, and it zips. So it's my project bag I made to take to Hawaii when we go next week. So there's that. I'm also knitting lots and lots of socks. I will knit them any which way. I used to always knit cuff down, but lately I've been doing toe up because I've been making them for other people, and so I don't want to run out of yarn. But these ones are back to cuff down. This is the Mina Phillips pattern. It's the cobblestone. So it's just like that. And then on the back side is just plain knit. So this is, I'm using Knit Picks Felici. It's the balloon red colorway. And I'm knitting them on wooden Chigoos, size 1 or 2.25 millimeters, I believe. I don't care if I knit on double points, on magic loop. That I cannot do the little 9-inch circulars. I have tried. I grip my knitting needles almost like handlebars. So to use those little 9-inch, it's just, it feels like this, and I just can't do that. It hurts my fingers. So I will use double points, I will use magic loop, and that's about it. I'll go in between a 1 and a 0. So depending on the pattern, I'll use a 0 or a 1, but this, I just happen to have a 1, so that's what these are getting made out of. It's also 64 stitches, and I will do a fish lips kiss heel, and then continue the pattern down on the top of the foot. So, pretty basic there. It is in my Adelaide Cottage canning jar bag. As I said, we live on a hobby farm, so we also homestead. So we grow a lot of our own food, we cook from scratch at home. I do a lot of canning, so I just couldn't resist when I saw this bag here. Yeah, so it's Adelaide Cottage, and it came with a really cute little carrot clippy. So it can be used as a progress keeper or just a zipper pull. I keep it on here, and then when I am working on a project that needs a progress keeper, I will unclip it and use it on that project. So there's that one. Let's see what else. Okay, I am in the process of making 2 cozy memory blankets. It started out as 1, and then I liked one of the colors so much, I decided to make a whole blanket out of that. But originally, I had started making color blocks. So far, I'm doing red, orange, yellow, green, purple, blue, and pink are my colors that I have. I'm doing 5 of each, and then I'll kind of lay them all out and see if that's enough. It should be enough for like a twin or a queen. But I'm doing them. I don't like the craziness of the normal cozy memory blankets. So in an attempt to kind of tame it down, I'm doing 9 patches like this. So I'm doing 31 stitches. I'm using a center double decrease. You can kind of see it there. And knitting them onto each other. And then I'm just picking up, after I have a 9 patch, I'm picking up a border. This is the Happy Feet die for me. So I'm just going to outline all of my squares in the plain undyed yarn, and then I will sew them together. So hopefully it will look more like a quilt than just a crazy blanket. I love everybody else's cozy memories. It's just, I couldn't handle the craziness for me. So this is the blue, like that. So again, I have 5 of these. 4 of them are 9 patch, and then 1 of them is Mina Phillips's pinwheel pattern. So I think I grabbed one of those so you'll see it. So that's the blue. This is the purple, like that. I started out using just scraps that I had, and then I quickly ran out of scraps. And so I have been collecting mini skeins via swaps, via buying mini skeins on Ravelry, or on Etsy, sorry, and just people giving me their scraps. So not all of these are things that I have made projects with, but that one is the purple, like that. And the back, I just haven't sewn in the white, but it's so nice and tidy, and I just love that. So it's like that. That's the back, that's the front. I haven't done the whites on all of them, or even most of them yet. But this is the pink, like that. And then, oh here, I have a green one. Oops, that's the pinwheel. So, it's just like that. So, like I said, I have 4 of these that are the 9 patch, and 1 that is the pinwheel. So again, that's Mina Phillips's pinwheel scrap blanket pattern. And then, I'm currently working on the oranges. So, oops, sorry. So I just have 1 started, and then I did get the pinwheel orange one done, so that's like that. And then I'm currently on the needles, I have the next orange one, like that. So, this is the original Cozy Memory blanket that I started. And I was going to do all the different colors, and then I was going to do some black squares and some neutral squares to try to tone it down. However, once I started making the neutrals, I absolutely love the neutral squares. So instead of having and they didn't really look good next to the colored, it just looked, I don't know, too, like it didn't go together. So I decided I would have my colored blanket like that, and then I would have a neutral colored Cozy Memories. So, let me put these over here. I'm drinking water, just ice water. We got this Arctic, it's like the cheap version of the Yeti, but it was like 20 bucks on Amazon. And then at work, my husband, they have one of those crushed ice makers. And so he will fill it up with ice for me when he gets off of work, and then come home and I'll fill it up with water and then just drink the ice all day long. So, okay. The Neutrals Cozy Memory Blanket is my absolute favorite. So it's huge. I don't know if I can fit it on. Well, it's not really huge, but it's big compared to the other ones. So it's like that. Can you guys see it? I don't know. This, where did it go? Right here is the center. So, if you guys can tell, all of the ones in this quadrant are centered to go down this way, and these ones go this way, and they kind of all meet in a point. So it's they all come to a point here, and then all of these are like a V, and then same thing here. So, again, these started out as scraps from projects that I had made, and quickly turned into buying minis off Etsy, and people giving me their neutrals, and so it's just a hodgepodge of things that I've made, and things that other people have made, and things that I've bought. Recently, well, last week, I flew out to California to go to my sister's bachelorette party, and I extended my trip, so I was out there for a whole week, and my mom and I went to the yarn shop, and she picked out 2 colors of Madeline Tosh unicorn tails, and so I've been incorporating those. So this one is one of my mom's squares. So 1 unicorn tail is enough to get at least 4 squares in probably 5. So I will have up to 10 mom squares in my blanket. So I just thought that was such a neat idea. And I forgot to mention, these are all fingering weight yarn. I'm knitting them using, here it is, my carbons, and these are size 5. So the pattern I believe called for a 2, just like the consistency that you would get with a sock. But I like my fabrics, I like them really stretchy, I like it really just loose and open. And since it really doesn't matter and there's no gauge and no right way to do it, I decided to use a size 5. So both this Cozy Memory blanket and my color block one are done on the same size 5 carbons needles. And I love these. I have no issue with the joins. They are perfectly smooth. So yeah, I would totally recommend these needles. So that is my Cozy Memory blanket. One more time. It's just like that. And it's getting big. It's getting to the point where I can't work on it on my lap if I'm outside or if I'm somewhere where I get hot. Another kind of fun fact, and we might even notice it, but we are in the process of building a tiny house. And so we've been living in a camper, and we're buying 10 acres off my grandparents, and we set up a tiny house. So the tiny house, it's a prefabricated shed. It was actually a repoed shed, so it was somebody's garden shed, and I guess they didn't make payments on it, so it got repoed. So we got it for dirt cheap. Excuse me. And it was just a gross, typical garden shed. It's like 34 feet long and 12 feet wide, so it's pretty big. It has 2 lofts, and what we did is we added a normal door. So it has a normal house front door. I think it's actually a mobile home door because it's a little bit shorter than a standard door, but it's not the ugly shed doors that came on it. We took out the shed doors and we put in a big, huge picture window that I got from the Habitat for Humanity Restore. And we are slowly working on paneling and insulating the walls. We're actually waiting, we've been waiting on the electric company forever to come out and hook us up for electricity. So right now it's completely off the grid. It has no power, no water, no septic, nothing. So we were planning on living off grid, but as I said, we are in Arkansas, and you can probably see me sweating already. It's really gross. The summers here are way too hot. I'm from California, and summers there are like 75, and I'm from a beach town. So it's always, you get that ocean breeze, it's like 75, you can have the windows open. I don't even think we had air conditioning in my house growing up, and we never needed it. Arkansas is a different story. It is like 100 degrees and humid, and it's just miserable. So we quickly found out we cannot be off-grid. I mean, legally we could be off-grid, but it would cost way too much to have enough solar to run an air conditioner, and so it's just not worth it. We have solar panels, and they power lights right now. We have a couple fans that I had to turn off because they were really loud. But, so we do have solar. We did what we could to try to be off-grid, but it's too hot to be here. My husband works nights, and so he sleeps during the day. So for me sleeping at night, not having air was fine. I could move the fans up, so I had airflow on me, but just not air conditioning. He sleeps during the day, and he cannot sleep in this hot and heat and humidity. It is horribly humid in Arkansas. It's just awful. So, long story short, we're getting power. We're getting electric. We will be hooked up, so it will be a lot cooler. But we've just been waiting. We have 2 lofts, and we have a ladder going up to the 2 lofts. And we have cats. And so the little kittens just figured out how to climb the ladders. So if you hear the clunking of the ladder, it's the little kitten running up each of the rungs of the ladder. So the big cat can do it really quick, but one of the little kittens just figured it out a couple days ago, and she's so proud of herself. So that's what that noise is. But anyways, I don't know if you can see behind the flag. We have no insulation, no nothing. So we're working on it. We have to get power and hook up all of the boxes before we can finish paneling the walls. So we kind of put the flag up so it doesn't look so, I don't know, not ready for people to live in. Anyways, that's enough blabber. So what else do I have to show you? Okay, that is all of my works in progress. Yeah. I also was starting on the Doodler by Stephen West, but I'm in the middle of a row, so I can't really show you. So I'll show you next time. And it didn't get any love this week, so I haven't really worked on it this week. Okay, FOs, finished objects. I finished my pencil socks. First off, this is in the Freckled Whimsy bag. I love the sloth. I think they're so fun. I'm also obsessed with this like chartreuse green right here. I just think it's so cute. Anyways, on my trip to California, I started and finished my pencil socks. Can you guys, sorry I didn't weave it in yet. Can you tell how it's a pencil? So there's the lead toe, and then like the shavings part, the body, and then the metal, and then the eraser. So this is from the Yarn Enabler, is the dyer. It came as a kit. The graphite and the brown was a mini skein. The yellow was one ball. The silver and the eraser was also a mini skein. So I just took the one yellow ball, I split it into 2, so I knew that I wouldn't run out of yarn. And then these were 2 mini skeins and 2 mini skeins for the toes. So that's it looking face on and sideways. I did a fish lips kiss heel. You could really, since it's a solid color, you could do any heel you wanted to. But I love the fish lips kiss heel. It fits my foot really well. I have a very fat foot and fat ankles. So socks tend to slide down. So the fish lips kiss heel, it just works really well. So that's that. And the toe. And, sorry, the lead, and then the eraser. So, again, the pencil socks, you could make these using just the colors, but the yarn is just dyed. I mean, can you guys see? it just looks like a chalkboard. It's got the speckles of white and the graphite, and then the brown. I mean, it's tonal. So I would recommend getting the kits. I think they're kind of hard to get. Her updates go pretty quick, but I was able to snag one last time she had an update. So again, it's the Yarn Enabler, and she has a podcast as well. So those are my finished objects for the week, and these are for me. So yeah, there's that. Alright, now we have stash enhancement. Guys, I got a lot of yarn this week. On my trip, like I said, my mom bought me 2 of the unicorn tails. So the purple one that I already showed you. And then she got me this really pretty, like silvery blue unicorn tail. So that's going to go in my cozy memory blanket, the neutral one. I got that. Originally I'm from Santa Cruz, California, so there was like 5 yarn shops, but a lot of them have gone out of business. So there's 2 that I know of. One is called the Swift Stitch, and so I got this there. I don't know if you can see it. It's a really gorgeous, that's pretty accurate for the color, lace weight. This is from the Fiber Company. It's called Road to China Lace. So there's that. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, but it was so pretty. I love yellow. It's definitely my color. So I will let you know what I decide when I decide to make something with that. So there's that. I got some Malabrigo sock. So yeah, right about there's the colors. Like that. Guys, look at how pretty that is. There's speckles. You see the speckles? And blue. So this one is Malabrigo Sock Anniversario is the colorway. There's a new yarn shop back home. It just opened up in August. So I had to buy something from her. So I got these, and I got those Chaigu size 1 needles, because you can never have enough sock needles. So again, it's Malabrigo Sock Anniversario. And the kitten is playing with a squeaky toy. Sorry. I also got pineapple yarns. The girls on the Hey Sister Hey podcast first told me about these. So it is a gal, a dyer in Hawaii. So I don't remember what this colorway is called. Like beachcomber maybe, I think. But I figured I would get yarn from Hawaii. I would make a Hawaiian project bag, and I would knit them on my trip to Hawaii. So it's all balled up. I will probably make socks with it, just because they're portable, they're easy for travel, and you can never have too many socks. So again, I will knit with my Hawaiian yarn in my Hawaiian project bag in Hawaii. So I got that, and it came really quick. Another one that just came is it's the O Loops Harry Potter colors. So this is the Lucius Malfoy is the color. And again, there's my green, guys. Right there. So it's got the chartreuse. It's got cream. It goes to some black, like really dark charcoal. And then to some pretty grays like that. Excuse me. So I will be doing the Harry Potter knit along. I've never done it before, so I don't really know all of the details. But I will be using this yarn and knitting, again, probably socks with it. So, there's that. What else? Oh, I have another finished object. These are my husband's Christmas socks. Can you guys see them? Like that. He is an avid hunter. So, this is Gnome Acres yarn. I just used the orange minis. And I had to order a bunch because they did not last very, like they're really small. So I think this used 2.5 minis instead of just 1 for the heels, cuffs, and toes. And then the camo is the colorway Sam Winchester. And I like it kind of pools, but not really. It's not like the annoying pooling. So I really like that. And camo kind of pools anyways. So, it's Sam Winchester. They're both Gnome Acres. This is just orange. Yeah, so there's 2. And guys, he wears a size 13 shoe. So these are huge! These ones I did toe up because I did not know... Oh, there's a hair. Sorry. I did not know if I was going to run out of yarn. So I figured I'd rather have this part be too short than to run out of camo like halfway. Although I do believe it was Chelsea on Legacy Knits either ran out of yarn or did it on purpose. So she did a colored toe, but it came like all the way up to here. It looked really cute. So if I ever run out of yarn, I'll just make the toe one color like to here, to the top of the foot. So that's what that is. So there's 1 and 2. This one kind of pools different. Isn't that weird? Same needles, same yarn, same number of stitches. I did 1 in May, and then I was just like totally against it. I did not want to knit for a size 13 foot. So from May till, what is it now, September, I didn't touch them. And I knit one like in a weekend. And then I needed the needles. Oh, I'd cast on the toe. Because I always, as soon as I cast off the first one, I have to cast on the second one. Otherwise, I will totally have second sock syndrome. So I had the needles and I had the toe done, and then I'd put it away. But I needed the needles for my pencil socks. So it was, I kind of had to finish it so I could cast on my pencil socks. So it was good motivation to actually just sit down and do it. And it's just a vanilla sock, so it did not take that long, like maybe a couple days. Not that long at all. So I'm glad they're done. They will be wrapped and under the tree for him for Christmas. And he knows about them. He's tried them on. I had to make sure they fit because I don't have a sock blocker big enough for a size 13 foot. So, but I think he'll forget about them between now and Christmas. So I'll just tuck them away. I'll put them in my box of socks and they will be there for Christmas. Okay, back to acquisitions. I follow quite a few podcasts. I love interacting with them on the threads on Ravelry. And so I have been entering all of my socks into the Knitting Broomsticks. She's doing like a year of socks. Excuse me. So every month you enter in the socks that you're working on, or that you finished, and then she'll draw a winner from that month, from the socks that were completed that month. So I won! I never win! She sent me this gorgeous, let's see if you guys can see it, yarn. It's yellows and oranges and mustards, and then there's some little bits of red here. So this is Supernatural Yarns by Shannon Shaw, and she is on Etsy. And it is called the 3 Broomsticks. So I don't know if it was dyed for the Knitted Broomstick, the podcast, or if it just happened to be the broomstick colorway. But I won it on the Knitted Broomstick, which is Jilly. Hi, Jilly! And yeah, I'm super excited to have this. So I don't know what this will be. Maybe socks. Go figure. But it is going to look pretty in my stash until I decide. Okay, almost done. Almost done, I promise. This is a Knit Picks order. I like Knit Picks. A lot of people look down on it. A lot of people, think it's not very good yarn. I think it's totally fine. There are some projects that you want super nice yarn, and there's some projects where Knit Picks is just fine. So this is, what is it? Knit Picks Stroll Fingering. One of my friends was just diagnosed with throat cancer. And so these are the throat cancer awareness colors. So she's going to go to treatments and probably lose her hair. And so she asked for a hat. So absolutely I said yes. I like, sorry about the crinkling. I like how soft this is. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So I think it'll feel, I've made some socks out of it and it feels really nice against the skin. So I think for, if you don't have any hair and you need a hat, this is a good option. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. She'd originally asked for ones that have like the awareness ribbons. So I don't know if she still wants that or if she just wants it in the colors so it's not quite as screaming cancer. So I might do it striped, and then the ribbon in this. I don't know. I really don't know. But those are for her. Sorry. So this one is Blast Heather. Like that. White original. And then the red is Firecracker Heather. Right there. Like that. So those will be a hat for my friend. Okay, last one's kitty kitty. Come here. You want to say hi? No? Okay. She doesn't want to come. So there's one kitten who hasn't figured out the whole ladder issue. So she's kind of stuck downstairs while the other two run up and down the ladder. Come here. Oh. This is Bartok. Say hi. So, Bartok and her oh, okay. Here, there. Bartok and her sister Anastasia are named after the movie, Disney movie Anastasia. Bartok is like the little bat, and our hi. You gonna go down? Bye. Our favorite line that Bartok says is, "And I kick her, sir." And so we always joke, you know, just that Bartok's gonna kick everybody. But my husband and I love that movie. So Anastasia is a golden colored kitten. And then Bartok is her half-sister. So I can't say no to animals. And I fully admit that I cannot say no. So my grandma and I had gone to pick up a lamb that we'd planned on getting. And the lady that had the lamb, there was just a ton of kittens running around. And one of my kittens had just died that morning. And so I was telling her how sad I was that my cat had died. And she was like, well, do you want a kitten? And at first I was like, no, I can't take a kitten. And then she was like, please, like, I have so many kittens. So I was like, okay, well, twist my arm. And then I figured, you can't just get one kitten. You should get two, because they can play together. You don't have to entertain them. So I got two. So my grandma had to carry them in her purse the whole ride. It was like a 2-hour ride home. So she just put them in her purse, and they kept trying to crawl out. But I didn't have a cat carrier or anything, because I hadn't planned on getting cats. So, Anastasia's coming out. We'll see if she'll come over. So I got the lamb and the 2 kittens. Side note, do not hang fly strips, like the sticky fly strips, if you have cats. The cat that, come here. Okay, look. This is Anastasia. Isn't she cute? Say hi, kitty kitty. Do you see your belly? Okay, go play. When we first got the shed, it was so hot, and so we just opened all the windows and the doors, and we got a ton of flies inside. So we've always hung fly strips when we need them. So I hung a fly strip, and my poor cat got a hold of it. I just thought they were sticky fly strips. I thought, the fly, like you hang the fly strip, the fly lands on it, gets stuck, and dies. But apparently they put some sort of poison on it. And my cat, I don't know if it ate the flies off the fly strip. It didn't get stuck. My cat didn't get stuck to the fly strip. But it was awful. The cat passed away. It was just awful. I won't go into detail. But yeah, we will never, ever, ever use fly strips again. Oh, stop eating it. Stop, let go. Bartok's found the mini Skein. So yeah, if you have pets, I don't know if it would affect a bigger cat, but the cat was bigger than these two. So, I don't know. Just stay on the safe side and don't use them if you have pets. So, we now have outside. We have a lot of flies because of the goats, and I know I'm rambling. But we have those traps where they fly into them and then they can't fly back out. So it's completely harmless if the cats get a hold of it. Anyways, one more acquisition and then I'm done. In my nitpicks order, I ordered these. Like that. They are just it's alpaca cloud fingering. So it's 100% superfine alpaca. And there's cats trying to climb up my leg. I really want to make the Good Vibes shawl, but I don't think this is enough. They looked a lot bigger on the website. So we'll see. If it's not enough, I'll make some sort of other shawl. Maybe with these two as the main body and this as like a lace edging, I think would be really pretty. So we'll see. But yeah, okay, that's the end of my acquisitions. Before I go, I wanted to talk about what knit-alongs I'm doing. I absolutely love knit-alongs. They are such good motivation to stop. Oh, it's playing with all my strings for my cozy memory blanket. I'll put that up here. Sorry. Okay, so my knit-alongs. First off, I'm doing the Boxo socks from the Yarngasm podcast. Her knit-along is to knit 12 pairs of socks in a year, and put them in a pretty box. And then at the end, by December, you'll have 12 different pairs of socks. So, I am furiously knit along with that. I think I just finished my 8th pair. I think pencil socks is 8. It might be 9. But I'm well on track to finish by December. So, that's the Boxo socks cowl by the Yarngasm. Another one I'm doing is Stitching the High Notes is another podcast. She's doing a pumpkin-themed knit-along. So, all these knitting projects are out, and it is just torture for the kittens. But, anyways, she's doing a pumpkin-themed knit-along, so you can knit anything that's pumpkin-colored, pumpkin-themed. It makes you think of pumpkins. So, I'm doing my orange squares, because I hadn't started any of them. So I'm going to do, for the knit-along, 4 of the 9-patch orange squares, plus that one pinwheel that I already showed you. So that will be my pumpkin knit-along, because they are all different variations of orange. So there's that one, and that is with Opera Joe from Stitching the High Notes. Then I'm also doing, like I mentioned, the Knitting Broomstick is doing the Year of Socks. So every month I enter however many socks I've knit into that knit-along. The turkey just walked by. We have one turkey. And he just walked. There's like a big picture window right here. And so he just walked by. And he makes the cutest little noises. But anyways, Knitting Broomsticks, I'm doing the Year of Socks. She's also doing, I don't think it's a Year of Sweaters. I think you just, I don't know, a sweater knit-along. So I will enter my Sophia, that purple sweater that I showed you for Hawaii. As soon as I finish that, I will enter that into the Knitting Broomsticks sweater knit-along. I made 2 different baby sweaters for my nephews. My sister just had twin boys, and so it's super fun to knit for them. So I made 2 baby sweaters. I used the Anders pattern, and I'll show those later on the podcast, I think, if I make another episode. So I entered those, and, oh yeah, and then the last one is the O-Loops Harry Potter cowl, which I'm going to use my Malfoy yarn for. And I better go before the kittens completely destroy my projects that are now out of their project bags. So yeah, thank you for watching. Again, you can find me on Ravelry. I'm Sergeant Griff's Girl, so it's SGTGRIFFS Girl, GIRL. And I'm on Instagram as Jessica Ruth Knits, and it's JESSICA, it's just the normal one. Excuse me. And Facebook, I'm Jessica Knits. So thank you guys so much for sharing part of your day with me and for listening to me go on and on about farm life, about my knitting. If there's anything else you guys want to see, let me know and I will be happy to share. Maybe if I make more podcast episodes, maybe we'll do an episode out, or I'll just film out with the goats and the chickens. The goats, if they see you, they start hollering. So I have to kind of hide behind the shed if I'm outside. Otherwise, they want to be out. They want to be with you. And if we're out in the yard, we'll let them out so they can browse and graze, and just kind of be free and run and kick. But as soon as they see you, it's just nonstop hollering, like really loud. It's a good thing we live out in the middle of nowhere, and our neighbors have goats too, so they won't complain. But yeah, if you guys want to see more of the farm animals, I'll take you on a tour of the chickens and ducks and turkey. We just lost our other turkeys. We have a lot of predators. So yeah, anyways, I'm blabbering. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great week. I won't be able to podcast next week because I'll be in Hawaii for my sister's wedding. But I'll try to podcast again as soon as I get back from Hawaii and show you guys what I did with my Hawaii yarn and all the plain knitting. So take care, thanks again, and I'll see you all later. Bye.